I may have to shoot this one. My eyes squinting. I feel like when I wear my sunglasses, it's like the beginning of every CSI Miami episode where the guy makes some kind of punny remark. Like with all these YouTube videos about depression, maybe it should be called Boo-Hoob. Hello everybody, it is a sunny, gorgeous evening here in Washington as the ferry pulls into the dock. Boats are out, birds are out, and the Larsons are out. Anyway, last week I posted a video about depression and what I felt the truth about depression was. And I got a ton of comments on YouTube and Facebook. I also got a bunch of text messages. Everybody was super cool, super supportive. I'm definitely feeling the love. My family's definitely feeling the love. So thank you guys so much for the love, the support, and your prayers. They're greatly appreciated. I wanted to film this video to answer a couple of the questions that I got. And also I wanted to bring some more attention to a couple of other videos that I've seen that were phenomenal. The first one was a TED Ed video, and I put the link in the description of my last video, but you can click on the iCard on top of the screen to watch that video now. It's phenomenal and does a great job of explaining what depression is and why you can't just think depression away. The other video that I want to bring attention to is a video with Chester Bennington, who was the lead singer for Linkin Park, who last week we found out was battling with depression and ended up taking his own life. And so you can click the iCard at the top of the screen here to see that video. And I guess before I get into this too much, when it comes to depression and me, there's a beginning and there's an end. And I realize that that's not the case for everybody, that a lot of people will live their entire lives battling depression, and my heart goes out to you guys. My sympathies go out to you guys, and I also want to let you know that there are people that care about you and they want you to know that you're supported and that they love you. So, I'm getting tired of squinting at the risk of looking like CSI. I'm gonna put my glasses on because I'm tired of squinting. The questions that I got the most was, when you were dealing with depression without being treated, what were your thoughts and what were your feelings? The other question that I got the most is, when did you know that you needed to go get help, that this was more than you just being sad or feeling depressed, but that you were actually dealing with depression? So to answer the first question, what was I feeling, what was I thinking? When my friend passed away, of course I was sad and I missed him and I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I got angry, all the types of things that you do when you're mourning anyway. And so at the beginning of it, I just thought that I was upset about losing my friend. And it really started dawning on me that I was having more of an issue when I started having fears that what happened to my friend could happen to me, where I would just be dead soon, you know. And I started thinking irrationally about sorry, I've got a frog over here. So I just started thinking irrationally about pretty much everything. That, like, if I called Suze and she didn't answer, it was like, oh my gosh, what happened to her? And if something happened to her, what happened to the kids? And then I would just think of these crazy scenarios that I'm not going to go into, but just these horrific ways in which I would lose them. And I didn't have motivation for anything. I didn't have motivation for the things that I loved to do, let alone the things that I had to do, you know. So like waking up every morning was like a Monday morning, you know, everybody knows what I'm talking about there. But it was like the worst Monday morning. And I would wake up and one was like, oh, I guess I'm awake. And sometimes I would think that's too bad. And the other times it would be like, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with my life? And like those sound super dramatic, and they are. But when it comes to depression, you just can't really help yourself but to think that way, or at least I couldn't help but think that way. And so you've got all these irrational fears, you got these irrational thoughts, you start thinking of, unfortunately start thinking of taking your own life, and you start going through all the scenarios in which you would do it. And then this happened so often I can't even put a number on it. I'd have those thoughts, and then rational Luke would come out and be like, what are you doing? You're crazy. Why are you thinking this way? Like, you have so much to live for, you have so much to do. Like, you know, all these positive things would come out, and then I would find myself in a battle between irrational Luke and rational Luke. And I'd see this battle going on, and I don't mean to laugh, but like as I hear myself say it, it's just like, holy cow, I was crazy, or I am crazy. But that's what I tell myself. I'd hear irrational Luke and rational Luke fighting back and forth, and I just go, you're crazy, you're losing it. Like, you are absolutely losing your mind. And then I started having trust issues with myself. Like, I couldn't trust my thoughts. I couldn't trust what I was going to do in scenarios. I couldn't trust like really anything. And it was super frustrating and, for lack of a better word, depressing. And so when that happened, I found myself getting short about everything. Like, I have 4 kids now, and kids love to run around and play and be loud, and I get that, I understand that, and I used to be fine with that. But now my fuse and tolerance for that are so short. And when I notice myself getting upset and like getting after the kids for being loud, and they would come at me with their questions, you know, when I get home from work, oh daddy, which is all great, like you want your kids to run to you and hug you and love on you and want to talk to you. But like, it was just like this sensory overload when they would run up to me and talk to me after work, and I just couldn't handle it, and I would just freak out and have to go to my room and close the door. And so when those types of things, answering the second question, when those types of things happened more frequently and I saw them happening and I couldn't change the behavior, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't change that behavior of me getting upset, of me feeling so much anxiety about normal everyday things. And of course, my wife saying, you know, there's something more going on here. My wife was huge in me figuring out that I needed to go get help. Like, she was the catalyst, I guess, that pushed me to go and get help. Because when you're in it, you, at least for me, I keep generalizing here, but what I mean to say is, like, at least for me, I felt like I could handle it because I've handled being upset and sad in the past. So I figured that this wouldn't be any different, that I'd be able to figure this out and take care of this too. But as everything progressed and got worse and worse, and I was getting more irritable and angry, and my wife constantly telling me that there's something wrong, finally conceded and went and got help. And so it's a really hard thing to, one, recognize that you have an issue, and then two, recognize that you're not going to be able to take care of it on your own, that you're going to need help. And so I guess to, someone's getting tossed in the water over here. That's what happens. But anyway, I guess to loud ferry. So I guess that if I were to be giving advice to anybody who is dealing with depression or has a loved one that is dealing with depression, to those that are dealing with depression, you're not lesser of a person for not being able to take care of this on your own. Just like I said in my other video, if you broke your arm, you would go to the doctor and have a doctor set it. And so don't be surprised that when you're dealing with depression that you need to go to a doctor and get help. To those that have loved ones that are dealing with depression, push them gently to seek help. And that's a thin line or a hard line to walk, I think. Sue's did a great job, coming to me and saying, this is a concern, this is what I'm seeing, this is how I feel, go get help, type of thing. And so depression is tough, and it's tough because there's nothing that you really see on the outside. The symptoms and the effects of depression are very real and very powerful. And so that's why it takes more than one person, takes more than yourself to get the help that you need and to get you treated. Yeah, honey? What's wrong, honey? What, honey?
I'm stuck.
You're stuck?
Yeah.
You just ran over here. And you're stuck?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do to get you out?
Nothing.
We're not gonna do anything? Wait a minute. Did you just move? Were you playing a joke on us? You weren't stuck at all, were you? You weren't stuck at all. Well, in closing, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for all the love, the support, and the comments that you're making. Please take care of one another. Please love one another. And I want to thank you guys all for watching, for sharing, for subscribing, and for all the love and support that you guys have given us. Duty calls, so I'm going to get to it. We'll see you on the next video. Always. Okay, Carter, give us a show.
Huh? For what?
Give us a show here.
Except for when? When you wake up.
Is that because you want to be grounded? Is that why you said that?
Pretty much. No. Somebody likes somebody.
Somebody likes somebody?
Yeah, there's a heart, M, line something, whatever, cross.
Oh, that's cute. M plus K.
Have you seen that before?
It's forever.
Oh my gosh, it's Miranda.
Miranda and Kendall, is this you? What do you think, Amelia?
Here, popcorn.
Thank you. You just cough right in your sister's face.
Right here.
Like put his hand up.
Right there. Hi, mommy.
There go the osprey.
Huh?
Oh, maybe
Yeah, blue him.
Got an expert
Now
over here.
go again. Do this popcorn. Yeah, blue heron.
Someone's like their father.
Let's go soft and